Today what we're gonna do real quick is run through the local pick-apart yard and scavenge for some odds and ends that we need for the Formula 350 that I noticed were missing last time we were put some things together on it. So here I am, the wrong way, looking for row 12. So there's row 10, row 11, there's an interesting car, that little Buick. What I'm looking at today is an IROC that's supposed to be out here in this yard, and of course 90 IROC-Z is the same thing, F-body, as our Formula 350 that we're working on. So I'm gonna come down here and see what I find. There's also supposed to be a 92 Camaro RS that'll have some of these little odds and ends. So I'm gonna come down here. Hopefully it's still sitting here. Let's see. Lots of very bland. Oh, there it is. Yeah, right there. Nobody's hardly messed with it. So that's good. There's a Corvette right next to it. They've ripped a lot of stuff up on it. So here we go. Wow, that's sad. And it's a tuned port injection car. It makes it even better. And it's been sitting for a while. Oh man. And it's white with red. 305 car. There's that collapsing spare. So it's good. Rear end's gone out of it, which is odd to me that they would take that, but let's dig around in this thing for a second and I'll get right back to you guys. Be right back. Alright, well, digging around through this thing, this looks like this is going to be a bust. They've pulled the drivetrain out of here, and a lot of what I really was searching for was the throttle cable, cruise control cable, and the TV cable, because those are tuned port injection specific. But looking around, I always enjoy digging around through these to see what's left. This one, I think this one looks like it was wrecked back in 2005. It was hammered. Well, I don't, you know what, I'm wondering, was it wrecked or did they just quit driving it? Let's see. No, it was wrecked. Yeah, so they wrecked it, threw it over in the corner or whatever yard they put it in, and left it to rot. It suffered quite a bit. What's really crazy about this is, I don't know if you guys can see this, I've never seen one rust right there like that. That's crazy. That's a lot of water that came through there. That's amazing, man. I wonder what kind of outdoor environment it was sitting in for that to happen. There's the radiator. There's a good under dash panel there. That piece is pretty good still. That's usable. Ooh, let me see something here. Ooh, oh no, it's broken like all of them. For some odd reason, the one bolt on this back panel that goes up here on these third gens, it breaks in that one bolt location. And then you're left with a panel that rattles, rear floor mats. Now, this car here, it was not a garage queen by any measure. If I'm looking at the Speedo here, this one had, yeah, 207,000 miles on this bad boy. So it wasn't like it was in primo condition when they wrecked it anyway, but still, it's always sad to see them get destroyed. And look at the level of heat that had to go through to warp that dash like that. That's pretty crazy. Good thing about it is there's a lot of probably good wiring and stuff inside of here. Little odds and ends that I don't really need but are particular to the car. Now in 90 is when they started using, I know on the Camaro side, they started using the yellow backed type gauges and stuff, so all that yellow indicates a 90. That's a really easy, quick way to establish a year model if you're looking at an IROC. 89s don't have an airbag for one, but then on 90 they got this yellow colored numbering, and all the lettering, stenciling is all in yellow, so it's a way to identify. So let me go find this other Camaro, this 92, and see if it's got a few things I need on it. I'll be right back. Alright, well, not much we can scavenge off of, so let's go ahead and look at this other Camaro over here. This is a red on red V6 car, so this is not probably going to have a whole lot of what I'm looking for either. Now it's interesting, that may have the cruise cable I'm looking for. No, the cruise cable is a different length, different style, because it's not a tune port injection car. So that's a bust. At least the stuff's out of the way. You can kind of see now with that brake booster removed how much room we have in here to get back in and clean that firewall. So I like to be able to see that. So I may actually go ahead and remove that brake booster on our yellow gold Formula 350 so that I can get back in there and finish doing the proper cleaning on it. Just kind of checking, guys, to see if there's anything else I see in here that I need. Battery cables are on this side, but even, let me see, I think the battery cable on this car goes to a different location, and it's kind of lousy. Even then, a few little odds and ends. That's here. That's that cruise cable. So I don't really see a lot I can use here. I may get a couple of small little fasteners there. Oh, I'm gonna get that thing over there, that clip for that fusible link. Mine's broken. My car. That plastic cover right there. I get those little original screw type plastic fasteners. Those are good to have. And I may pull a couple of those 10 mil sheet metal screws off the frame rails just so I have them. This one here is kind of confusing me for the moment because this has got a wire loom around this harness right here, but mine does not have that. My 88 doesn't. Now my 91 Formula 350 does, but the harness looks a lot thinner on these, so I'm gonna have to check, do a little research before I go trying to pop off and get one of these. So let me take some of these parts off and I'll be right. Well, let's take a walk around here real quick and see if there's anything else interesting on this car. This car didn't look like it was in terrible bad shape. Oh, look at that. Well, there's a throttle cable, but that's not the one I need. And okay, things missing in here. There's the headliner, red interior. You know, drum brake car. So this is just a V6. Let's see if this is open. No, this is not open. But I wonder if there's a few things back there. I can reach back there and see if there's anything I need. Oh, this car used to be white. Look at that. And they painted it. Okay. Well, wait. No, it just has a white door on it because the rest of the inside's red. So it was. Oh, that's what I need. It's broken. Okay. I need one of these for my other Formula, and this one's broken, like most of the rest of them. So, all right, let's dig around for a little bit more. I'll see if there's anything else I can get off of this. I'll be right back, guys. All right, looks like that's gonna do it for us. We were able to scavenge a few little odds and ends here off these two Camaros, this IROC-Z over here and the 92. So we'll see what we've got when we get back home, and we'll check it out then. All right, guys, back from our expedition earlier today where we were looking for some little odds and ends for the Formula 350 here, the yellow gold car, that as we dug deeper through the layers of our tune port injection teardown, we noticed there were some things that we needed to have replace on it. Some of it's smoke damage from when that smog pump locked up on it, and some other things that were just needing to be replaced just from age. Now, you know, again, when we come back to some of the fine details of some of these, not so-called restoration work, but just rejuvenation work on some of these older cars. Some of the small things become difficult to find just because there's not a lot of them out there, and then you've got to dig down to figure out part numbers, kind of like putting a jigsaw puzzle back together, I've said before. So this is basically our haul of what we got today. It doesn't look like a big, slim pickings, as Yosemite Sam might say, but this is actually some good stuff I was able to pick up. So like I mentioned, I did pick up 4 of those frame rail 10mm sheet metal screw coarse thread bolts. This one I really was happy to get. This is the fuse feed. For some odd reason, the 3rd gens have this separate little fusible connector here for the ECM. I don't know why in God's name they did it, or where they even put it. And some of them it's in this location over here in that corner, that's where I pulled it out. Some of them it's over here, so the Firebird it's over on this side. And you can see what happened was the edge of the connector broke off, snapped off, so there's where it actually goes into the frame, right there on that core support. So we got that. We got the low pressure switch from the evaporator. We got that so that we can replace that, because that got actually smoke damaged when we came in. This was a good score here. This was a really nice brake pressure switch with a connector. You can see this one's really roached out from the smoke damage. It looks like it's already been changed out once before. We got a fan motor connector, which was nice to have. That one looks okay in the corner, but I'm going to double check it. I think there was some smoke damage on that. Got a couple of the small little Phillips head plastic screws that go in right there to hold that in place. So that was really nice to be able to score that, because it's just the added touch of having correct stuff on the car. And of course, these were just an extra bonus. These actually go in the rear as I drop it somewhere. I'll have to go digging for that later. So these are the connectors that hold, the screws that hold the back cargo area together in the 3rd gens. Now, these are the wrong color, but of course I can spray paint those later to the correct color with some dye, and I'm sure that thing either fell on the ground or it's stuck down there, so we'll get to it. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and put these small little connectors or things in that I can. So what I'm doing here now is unscrewing this piece here. This is just a threaded insert that holds that piece in. I can't seem to get that on camera for you. There we go. So all that does is unscrews, and as it unscrews, it releases the tension on those, so those flare out once you screw that in there. So basically what I'm going to do is stick that in there and find the slot for that, and then we're just going to gently screw that back in, because that does not require a whole lot of pressure. It's just a tightener to keep it in place. And there it goes. It's in, or as in as it wants to go for now. So still got a little bit of looseness, but it's there. It won't move around too terribly much. See if I can put a little torque on this one too. There we go. So that's not too bad. I'm gonna play with that later off camera. This one here, we're gonna go ahead and take that 10mm off where that bracket goes. Uh-oh, did my battery run down? Oh yeah, my battery must have run down. Okay, all right, let's see if I can find my 10mm real fast so I can get this done. I hate making a jump cut here, but looks like I may have to, guys. Give me a second to find my other, oh no, you know what, I'll just do this. There we go. Always nice to have an extra battery on hand. Get this battery out of here. Okay. So we'll get that 10 out of there. Alright, so that 10's removed. And we can go ahead and throw this away, because that's the broken piece right there. And where did my attachment go? There it is. So all I'm going to do here is remove the clip from here. Right there. Okay. And of course, this one I was just noticing as I took it off has writing on it. So that is a fuse. Okay, so it actually is telling me it's a fuse. Oh yeah, the same thing this one does. Okay. And again, nobody's gonna notice that, but it's just something I was looking at. Sorry guys, I'm trying to disconnect this one. Okay. So then we get this one in place. Okay, well, let's see, this is what I get for, let's see if I can make this work. Okay, yeah, that'll work. So that just goes right there in that corner, right there. The camera angles are bad today, because this is that small stuff we're working on. So let me get that 10mm in here. Threaded through there. None of them want to cooperate with me right now. Okay. Let me go back. That's just right there in the corner of that. And like I said, I have no idea why GM decided to put that fuse right there for the ECM. It's kind of an interesting first generation kind of thing. We're using these. So you want that up to where you can see it. I don't want it spinning over on me. Let's see here. Alright, there we go. So that's where it needs to be, and that one, like I said, you can just, I guess in the third gens, you can just check your fuse to make sure your fuse is good. So if you peel that fuse out, you can actually disable the whole car. Kind of an interesting little trivia. So that's pretty much all I can get in there right now. These are going to have to be wired in later, so I'll do those next time. Once we're probably on Tuesday, what we'll do, or actually Friday, I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll go ahead and take that master cylinder proportioning valve and disconnect the lines, because I think I'm going to actually, once I do that, I can get a lot of room to get underneath there. I think I'm going to leave that brake booster in there for now because it's in good shape and it's not misbehaving on me. So that's going to wrap up our Memorial Day exploration for us, guys. I appreciate you hanging out. Looks like I got done just in time before the weather started on us. So we're supposed to get rainy this week. So we'll see how that goes. But I'll check back with you guys soon, and we'll see you then. Thanks again, guys.